Hello and good evening. We're back with Read-Only Memories. We last left off, I failed to capture the taxi. That's okay. I'll solve another way. Wet Stardust. Excuse me, bouncer. We're good friends. Welcome to Stardust. Can I not? I'll let you in, but better stay out of trouble. Hey, Jess. Hey, I heard you from my friend on the street that those protests are gone. Must have been you, huh? Alright then. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and return the favor. I called up my buddy who's on a night shift for Parallax, watching over an access node in Deep Mission. Tomcat said that if you get access to an old access node, you might be able to find out what happened to Hayden. My buddy can buzz you in, but if anything happens, you broke in. This puts us about even. Don't think about drawing any more debits for a while. Go on, get out of here. Dog path. This is the place Tomcat said we should head to. Unassuming and quiet. Turbo! I'll be honest, I don't think we'd be in this section of the city without Jess giving us the all clear. The crime statistics are quite alarming, so let's get done with our errand here and move on to safer ground. Don't be worried about getting mugged. I can't help it. Stealing a ROM is considered petty theft, and I'd really rather not be some miscreant out to palm me for a minor amount of credits. Our hypothetical kidnapper wouldn't even be punished worse than a slap on the wrist if it was a first attempt. Though I suppose I shouldn't get too worked up about the legal system not accounting for machine sentience. I am the first. That I know of, anyway. Street art! You know, right after we found Hayden's apartment in such disarray, I started looking into graffiti and street art more thoroughly. I never had much consideration doing any myself, but it seems like an interesting avenue to pursue once I move beyond abstract expressionism. The simpler tags, visual shouting of identity and existence, they exhibit a feeling I can sympathize with, but it's these larger pieces, the riot of color and chaos, that really interest me. Petty vandalism is beneath me, but there are other avenues for that practice. Yeah, you can spray paint avenues. For example, did you know that Los Angeles in the mid-2030s legalized putting up mural-style street art on any building without requiring permission from the owner or city? It was chaos of the highest degree for a while, but now the place is truly remarkable. Perhaps I will visit once this is all done with. That graffiti is actually a symbol of gonzo journalism. Ah, I hadn't even noticed. Do you have much experience with gonzo journalism yourself, reporting after or during direct participation? If you do end up writing this experience, what you produce will be very definition of it. You're too close to be objective now, and you're a key suspect in the event. Doesn't seem to be your usual style, but you couldn't go another route at this point, and you're in the clear as you didn't investigate the situation. Never had much interest in the practice, but spending so much time around you has taught me to look at events in a different light, perhaps only because I can verify your personal experiences as fact. Sorry, I'm rambling again, aren't I? And we were on a schedule. I don't even know what to think about this. What if we don't find Hayden? What if we do? My nerves are shot from all the stress of the past day. It's already taking a toll on me. But never mind. Let's find the access node. Let's find Hayden. You talked the street art. Did it actually say something to you? Staring into the eye hand thing is really hypnotic. Are you feeling alright, Cusan? Nope, keep talking to it. We should really get going now. Alright. Pretty grimy, stop touching it. Trippy doesn't even begin to describe what you're hearing right now. Standard plastic blade. Oh, we need a plastic blade. It's crusted to the ground. Ugh. Can't pull off the generator, no matter how hard you try. The deep calming hum of the turbo generator. Pour milk! Well, now it's really a smelly generator. Congrats. Did I use my milk cup? Oh, I didn't. Good. Parallax Block AN-19 security. Hello? Yes, can I help you? Parallax Technician 329B here for routine inspection. This late at night? Uh-huh. Kids. Press the buzzer. Oh. Hello? Can I help you? Just warn you when you get there. You're at the access node for this Cesar Chavez and Indiana, right? That's right. Good, be quick, don't touch anything, got it? This conversation never happened and you're on your own if you get caught there. Hope you find what you're looking for. This is it. Let's go inside and I'll call Tomcat. This place doesn't look like it had any maintenance in years. How about the security? The system's also functional. Oh, I forgot you can't see the dark lighting. Yeah, that switch over there, adjust the brightness. Ugh. Oh, Tomcat is pinging us. Forwarding video and audio. Howdy! Y'all at the access node? I'm set to slice into the Turing once it... I'm set to slice in once Turing makes physical access. Of course, Tomcat. Just walk me through how to connect myself and I'll give you the necessary system permissions to use me as an interface. Just patch yourself into the Lynx terminal down there and I should be able to get you started. Lynx? No one buys bottle Lynx. Connecting wirelessly to it now. Permission granted. Please be careful in there. Don't worry. I'm an old hand at this. You won't notice a thing. 1 sec. Huh. Looks like I have a bit more for you to do before I can get into the info we need. One of the cassettes of the old system here uses is missing. It happens to be one from the recall slot. Without it, we won't be able to call up any surveillance records. There should be a cassette on the opposite side of the wall. We can overwrite that with recall program. Pretty sure that was the one used for handling phone monitoring. You know, from back when phone networks were their own thing, separate from data network? Maybe I'm betraying my age a bit too much. Anyway, we need to move that cassette across the room to access the records. Figure out how to do that, hit me back up when you've done it. Alright, well. Maybe there's some way to use this thing. How would you like one of those for an arms Turing? There's something wrong with my arms? I was certain Hayden installed state-of-the-art prototypes. I was just kidding. Oh, I see. Humorous. This model is extremely antiquated though. I doubt it's anything approaching my precision of modern servo motor appendages, to say nothing of the strength. Hanging wires. Nothing to look at. Alright. Know what your tampering could ruin. You can't reach from over here. Dirty tangled wires. What's going on there? Something shorted out my main breaker and everything switched over to the auxiliary. Try not to write the note before you get what you want to... Did I pour milk on that? Need sufficient way to make any kind of connections. Should have pushed your luck. Oh, no checklist. Make sure everything's running okay. Warning label. This air contains high voltage. Alright. Logging into Lynx server. Welcome to Lynx. Operate data transfer arm. Turn arm. Extend arm. Move arm right. Extend arm. Nice job! I'm gonna put some more pressure on them to move the data now. We'll see if we can't slurp it right out of this network trunk. Ya would have thought that someone would have noticed and decommissioned this access node when the neighborhood went to hell, but this mouse is happy to play while the cat is away. Why is this place useful for anyway? Way back when I was youngin', when I first hacked into Paradise Network, I mostly did it to make a point, yeah? They were just about to launch a MeshNet system, and I wanted to show the whole darn world that their security had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Of course, I wasn't too shy about poking in a few more holes in my own devising while I was there. After putting in some more tricky software backdoors, I went ahead and deleted the access node off the maintenance schedule. Then I reassigned the guy who was supposed to keep an eye on it to a different location. They were in the process of buying up a whole bagel of these nodes in preparation to set up a private network for themselves to use after MeshNet got up and running. Really confident of me, you know? Most of the software holes have been patched out as they've upgraded the network, but this old place is just as forgotten as I left it. Why would they move the data? Ah, well, I've been hitting every part of the network, every port into the network of one of their data centers I can find with a botnet-driven direct denial of service attack. It ain't likely to do much, but toss a few attempts to crack the firewall and their VIs are shitting bricks. It's standard procedure for them to move their sensitive data to a different center through a secure hardline in case the attacker actually gets in. Make enough noise and really scare them enough to take in some defensive action, which is where we want them. Let us know when you're done. Yeah, I'll just hold tight. I'll be done with this lickety-split. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, turning. I'm so sorry. What is it, Tomcat? What did you find? He's gone, turning. Of course he's gone, Tomcat. That's why we're here. Oh, poor naive little robot. He's gone, Turing. Hayden is dead. Oh, well, that obviously isn't right, Tomcat. Why would they kill him? Can you send me the relevant files? You must have missed something. Okay, if you're sure. Found the security cam video from the hallway outside the apartment. Looks like they started to struggle when they got him out the door, and one of the kidnappers shot him. Also, found some chatter about the botched raid on some darknet channels. I'm so damn sorry. Uh-oh. Thank you for your assistance in this matter, Tomcat. Hughes, I think I'll walk back to your apartment. I need some time to run some calculations about this new scenario. If you'll excuse me, don't go alone. Should you follow them? I need some time to myself too. If you say so, I'd rather follow the robot. I'm gonna keep digging through this data until they kick me out of the system. I'll try to find some kind of lead on this whole thing on why this whole thing started in the first place. It isn't much of a bright spot, but it seems like they aren't looking for Turing anymore. Maybe it's time to call it quits. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Boop! Is that chap 2? Christmas Eve, Eve, Eve. Yes. Q's in. Oh, Turing looks so sad. How you doing? You know, Hayden was a brilliant programmer, far ahead of his time. I'm a machine. Intrinsically, I do not have all the glands and visceral chemical reactions that make humans so emotional and brilliant. But his code is flawless replication of that inside my own personality algorithms. I don't think I've ever felt this anger. It follows my process and fills my brain with frustrating, half-finished plans for revenge. I am sick with rage. I do not like the thoughts I'm having about people who did this to him, Cusin. Can you turn them off? I could disable those modules. But I've less than myself, and that seems too easy. If I were human, turning off my emotions would be seen as extremely unhealthy. It's true. There is a wealth of information on the MeshNet about human psychology. I just don't know how much of it applies to myself. Either way, Hayden deserves my grief. It's true. It's my way of honoring him. Maybe the only way I can. I offer it freely. Did you see the jade plant? Its death is unfortunate but fitting. Yet another thing to be guilty for. Will you keep helping me, Cusin? I need you. To find the bastards that killed my progenitor. I need to finish this. I don't know what to do afterwards, but I need to see this through. We'll find them and the truth, Turing. The truth? I'm not sure that matters more. Hayden's death, no amount of truth will bring him back. But I guess you're right. Knowing why and wherefores will bring closure to this, like use measure of closure. I think for now we should keep knowledge of Hayden's death between you, Tomcat, and I. May give us an edge if people we seek don't know what we're already talking. Might give us an edge if the people we seek don't know how much we've already discovered. You should rest today. You likely need sleep, and I need some time too. I need some time. We'll talk after you some time to rest. Nope. Good morning, Cusin. I trust you slept well. No, my friend was killed. How about you? I had ample time to recharge my terminal batteries. That's not what I meant. I'm fine, Cusin. It's upsetting that Hayden is gone. But life for the rest of us goes on, yes? You still have mystery to unravel, and I'll waste no further processing time antagonizing over the past. There's no point. Unfortunately, we're just about running out of leads. Perhaps Tomcat was about to find something useful in Parallax's network while they were inside. I'm sure they did. I hope so, but I feel bad for relying on them as much as we do. Anyway, going so far as for Hayden, they must have been close. Oh, speaking of them, incoming call from Tomcat. Forwarding video and audio. Morning, Cusin. Turing. How you doing, hon? I'm fine, Tomcat. Thank you for your concern. Well, okay. Just say the word, and I can help out in any way you hear. Sorry about that, cat break. Just say the word and I can help out in any way, you hear? Of course. In fact, I was hoping you might have a lead for us to start working on. Otherwise, we're down to canvassing Hayden's address book and seeing if any of his contacts have an idea of who might have had a desire to target him. That's just fishing in the dark. Well, I pulled a fair amount of data from Parallax servers before it managed to kick me out. It'll take me a while to go through it. A lot of it is unrelated. TPS reports, maintenance logs, all kind of internal documentation that might be interesting to other corporations, about as useful as dirt to us. So no, I don't have as much as a whiff of a trail on the people who did this. But I did get a strange request from a friend, if you know what I mean. Someone has been manipulating reports of a news outlet by the name of Augmented Eye. It seems like the head of the network security there has been asking around for cybercrackers to help figure out how their articles are getting changed. The original files on their servers were untouched, not a thing wrong with them. But when you view the site from outside the network, some things are changed around. A word here, a phrase there, nothing really follow up the article big time, just enough to spin the meaning. It's gotta be some kind of man-in-the-middle attack. Someone with deep access to Parallax mesh now just changed what's being shown. Bad stuff. Ain't sure if it's related, but maybe y'all can head down to that main KCOB office and try talking to that gal that runs the Augmented Eye. Her name is Zin. Oh wow, well Cusin and Zin will probably get along pretty well. I ain't got time for that desire to stick my nose that far out for a friend of a friend, but it seems like your kind of deal, Cusin. Does seem like a bit of a stretch. But if we have to wait for your work on the data we'll collect anyway, we'll have to look into it. Alright, I'll pass your word along. You'll be in sometime to stick your noses in. And I'll send you word as soon as I get anything worth hunting down. Excellent. Thank you, Tomcat. We are grateful for your continued assistance. No problem, Turing. Are you sure you're going to be okay? Maybe you should take a little more time? Cusin can probably handle this one solo. I said I was fine. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine. My process has been fast and human, and I do not need to be badgered. I have already handled the reality of Hayden's death. It's time to move on with the investigation. Okay. Didn't mean to lean on you, dear. Just let me know if you need anything. Of course. I apologize for my tone, Tomcat. We'll be in touch. Alright. Later, Turing, Cusin. Okay, we have a lead, however tedious. I'm highlighting the COS.io Corp office building on your map. Also, while we were talking to Tomcat, I received the email from Dr. Fairlight. Displaying Ah, greetings, Husen. I hope you forgive me for text-only message, but I have a moment of quiet while undergoing my treatments, and I'm not presentable for a video call. Still, I want to let you know the idea I had while looking into the circumstance of a mutual acquaintance's disappearance. And I've had any luck with contacting Side Parallax, but I was reminded of an old friend by the name of Melanie Flores, who may know more about the nature of Hayden's research. She is the owner of Flower Cybernetics, and Hayden has been known to work closely with them on projects involving the intersection of Parallax's systems and the implants that Flower designs. Now, I cannot give you an introduction myself. Melanie and I had a falling out and are no longer speaking terms, but perhaps the intrigue of Hayden's little robot will get you entry in her home. Hope this lead serves you well. If you need anything else from me, I'll be in the hospital room where we met for the next few days. You might not think of me as a type of public hospital, but I like to keep things close to the city. I will send word of any other insights or discoveries. Your friend, Dr. Yannick Fairlight. Interesting. I had no knowledge of Hayden ever working with Flower Cybernetics, but now I'm starting to understand just how little I really knew about his research. Maybe Melanie can reveal more about the process of my construction. Hayden must have kept the development secret for a reason. Hopefully we can talk our way in. I've highlighted Melanie's home on your map. Okay, we need to go to Tomcat's lead to K Cobb, or Fairlight's lead to Melanie's home. Up to you where we go first. Oh, it's still broken. Alright, we could do, where do we go first? Let's go to Flower Mansion. It sounds more peaceful. Something wrong? Oh, I'm sorry, Husen. I was wool gathering. I see we're at Melanie Flores' residence. It's quite impressive. But that's to be expected considering that she's still the major owner of Flower Cybernetic Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operation of the company. I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together. Sorry. Back on task. Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside? Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother. Started out as developing cutting-edge medical tech, including advanced prosthetics and nanoparticle diagnostic and treatment techniques. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first cybernetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and the cybernetic prosthetics. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthetics for use for injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line accumulated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melanie took over the company from her aging mother as she fought against developing further military hardware from this point on. She pushed the company to use BCA technology for the company's original goals, medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct-link virtual reality implants. The company is largely successful at a global scale despite continued legislation movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants. What can you tell me about Melody? Not a whole lot. She's largely private, in contrast to other persons recording a media circus. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company to the point of absolutely viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since she days fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's that talk that she's lost her spine at her own age, but, well, I'd take that with a grain of salt, Houston. She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter. Stay on your toes. Did they have a falling out? He did, and I can't shine much light on that. I know that System 1 worked for Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct-link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it is during that time. Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of personal falling out between heads of the companies. I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be rumors. I knew I best parse that fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real. Let's go on it. No time like the present, then. Ding dong! Well, that's not what I expected. You guys are seeing this, right? It's a bear. Roar! Hi, is Melody home? Roar! Your guess is as good as mine. Mine says we can go in. Should we? Yeah. Oh, Swanky. Pay attention to me. Oh, Miss Flowers. I know who you are. Little boy Yannick isn't the only one with little birds that chirp in his little ears. We can explain. No. Sente, calm yourself. Do you need a drink? If I thought you were property of Yannick, I would have allowed Pat to eat his dinner early. He would have done it gladly, too. Roar. Fine, not eaten. He does happen to be on a diet right now. Big guy. But perhaps a light mauling. Roar, mauling good. Yeah, look, this philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Roar. Do you understand? Roar. Not at all. Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your journalist friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him either. Right. What's on your mind? Large climate control globe towards his plants. House will open. But rubbing the outside does produce a nice squeaky passing. Malcolm model Rana in the garden. Huge marble fountain. No coins to throw in. The door. Can one truly use an open door? Room control model. Back to the wall. Temperature set to low. It is freezing. Only Madame Flores and a team of technologists could figure out what makes this fossil run. That's RO51E, Rosie 893 unit from the emblem inside sits predominantly near Pat, a sort of ambient sleep mode, playing light instrument music. Latest episode of Media Blitz. It's going on to story details the new teen actor's island love affair with a local politician's daughter. The last time the Media Blitz hosted a celebrity that supported human resolution, the amount of angry emails the studio received caused a network-wide ban on the issue. Teapot, strawberries, like the fainting chair. Plush fainting chair. Chair keeps to strict 1-to-1 human-to-animal ratio. Most regal-looking robotic cat in the world sits prim and proper on the fainting chair. You give the cat a pet. The name on her collar says Lily. Looks remarkably bored and attempts a conversation. Melody keeps unusual company. Ursus maritimus, if I'm not mistaken. That might be why the temperature controls are set so low in here. He's definitely a polar bear. Wasn't you the scientific name of the species, Fusen? Has my interest in proper nomenclature started to rub off on you? He's a white bear, Turing. What else could he be? Plenty. Have you ever heard of the Kermon bear, also known as the spirit bear? Or it could be a white-phased black bear, or even a pisley. But he's not. He's a polar bear. Thank you. Pat is Melody's butler, not yours. He will offer services when and only when his mistress permits. So, Gur and stuff? Rawr. That's gross, dear. That's nice, dear. Try again when you have a trust fund and hold the majority of a Fortune 500 company. You have me at disadvantage, Miss Flores. You seem far more familiar with me than I'm with you. Have we met? It's just Melody, Turing. And no, we've never met, though considering how often Hayden harassed me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt. That's interesting. We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot. I'm touched, Melody. We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned you had worked with Hayden in the past. We haven't had access to any of his research notes and couldn't track down collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive. Well, I don't know what I can speculate on that beyond typical corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is for that, of course. Still, I'm willing to answer your questions for now. How did you and Hayden wind up working on Turing? Indeed, I don't see any connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapiens. Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapiens. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would be obviously an integral part of that. Oh, I didn't realize. How would Turing help with digitization of the human mind? Well, the concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functionally, immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complex machine, and even though we know right parts to push to make pictures show up, we can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on brain's activity to make sense of nonsensical signals. The implant is just a signal pipe, and the brain does all the real processing. That's why acclimation period for a direct link implant is like being stuck on low-grade hallucinogens for a whole week. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like human brain would be to work the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking the mechanics of the human brain, he started writing code that mimics the function of the human mind and assumed that architecture behind it would suit both purposes. Think of it as convergent evolution, two different species developing the same adaptation to solve the same problem, but continents apart. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. That's how he made his name in Parallax in the first place. So he wrote a bunch of baffling, self-modifying learning algorithms and let them loose. Poke and prod here and there, and to make sure they value the same things humans do, and we eventually end up with you, Turing. Interesting. Hayden never revealed any of this to me. I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were his first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid to contaminate your development before he had any chance to make good observations. Hayden and I have been aware of each other for years, but I can't say we've ever been friends or anything like that. It's a small city, and if you're a tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking at this part of the project, he came right up to my door and demanded access to research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. He needed logs to better understand the way the implants handled directing sensory data to the right parts of the brain, and try to mimic that in your software. I couldn't care less about Flower's patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. Really more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him I said that. Don't worry. Aw. Hayden was interested in Turing development? I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he prepared to publish the findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock. I assure you, Medley, my construction involves only the latest and greatest ROM prototype technology. Exactly, you're not off the shelf, but you're just a souped-up ROM. More or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transfers does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function. I suppose that is correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of processing power. Wouldn't a custom hardware have a capability that better serves such a demanding specialized task? Sure, there's still plenty of research to try and make a computer that works just like human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind and existing technology, it means we can start with the immortality now rather than waiting for some hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people out there who are able to make even a temporary stepping stone important. Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little about my origins. But I'm sorry to know more about the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. You can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more. Of course. We'll keep looking. Now perhaps we have some other questions? Sure. Flower cybernetics, you're self-applied. This is why I don't talk to journalists. They all prime my life. I can't you wait for my autobiography? I promise I'm working on it. Pinky promise. We don't want to pressure you, Melody, but every bit of information we can get could be useful in pointing us towards individuals that attacked Hayden. Humph. Alright, off the record? Of course. Fine, ask away. Let's talk about Pat. Let's deal with Pat. Roar! Pat is a prototype as well. Flower had short-lived projects that attempt to use neural implants to increase cognitive power of non-human animals. It worked to an extent. Pat's smarter than the average bear, but not by much. Oh, be quiet. And after the project was squelched, mostly for being a money pit, Pat was the only surviving success story. The heads didn't know what to do with him, so I decided to keep him around here. He's not a bad companion, if a tad tactic turn. Give it up, Pat. You're no Shakespeare. Ha ha ha. A lot of dots. Well, what's your history with flowers? Well, Mommy Dearest first started the company half a century ago. Quickly let it turn from a cutting-edge medical research group into a Department of Defense super soldier cyber factory. I took over when she got lymphoma and had to fight tooth and nail to turn Flower into something that currently churned my guts a little less. Now we're back to making medical tech and consumer neural implants rather than brains inside tin cans with lasers strapped to the front. If the US government wants more war-grade cyborgs, they'll have to get them elsewhere. Never mind them being banned by the Geneva Convention. I guess that's the gist of it, unless you want the sordid details of 2 decades of board meetings I had to fight through until I managed to buy back the majority stock in the company. No, that seems to line up with the Mesh says. Well, I'm happy the Mesh managed to get something right at least. How are you involved in the company today? Ah, I'm not. I mean, I still own the damn thing, but frankly I'm tired. I let the current CEO and board do what they want, with the understanding that I will shit-can them if they do anything egregiously asinine. Like, say, create more cyborg assassin war machines. These days I mostly spend my time talking to Pat and practicing how I painted. You paint? What a coincidence. I love painting. What do you do? Oh, nothing fantastic, just still life mostly. I'll never be known for my artistic skills, but I enjoy it. It's very meditative, isn't it? Meditative. I agree very much. I look forward to when all this is over, I can get back to my canvases. Would you mind taking a look at my work, since you're my aunt and all? Ha! Well, we can play a little. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Teehee, it's a date. Something else. What's the deal between you and Fairlight? Oh hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers together for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out software development for our first-gen direct VR neural implants to System 1. Things are going great, but after the first model was sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me. Literally. I turned him down very politely, I might add, and then all of a sudden the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'll be damn careful about trusting him if I were you. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Still, I suppose if we tried again now, I might not turn him down. It would be fun to needle him about still having my own company when he doesn't have his. Ha ha ha. That's everything we need to know. Good, I get back to my retirement. Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later. Oh, one more piece of information for you if you'd like it. I've got the contact info for Vincent Mensah, who I think might be a help with you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data coagulating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a favor anyway. He might be able to give you some more information on anything else Hayden may have been working on. That'd be fantastic, Melody. Perhaps at Golden Gate Park? That's public and crowded for safety for all of us. That should work. Be careful out there, Turing. I hate to see you get you killed. I will exercise caution, Melody, but I have contacts that can affect any repairs I may need. You don't understand. Hayden Design uses your base hardware configuration to generate your core personality profile. Each repair will make the little idiosyncrasies of your hardware mismatched against your personality algorithms. Too much change and the whole thing collapses. You'll have to be rebooted from scratch. So, I'm sorry to say, but you're immortal as the rest of us, Turing. I didn't know. Yeah, I can tell. You really need to get your hands on Hayden's files. There's plenty I don't know, so maybe I'm wrong. I only remember some of what Hayden told me about how he put you together. Just look out for yourself. I will, thank you. Alright. Can't do anything with the cat. They look too good to eat. Talk to the teapot? Huh. Talk to the teapot. Well, that has been the Flowers Miss Melody Flores of the Flowers bear statue. Small scale bear statues guard the mansion. So, Mr. Fairlight seems to be a bit of a snake according to Melody, and it turns out that Turing is mortal, so to speak. More to come later. Cheers.